Baldur's Gate 3 inspired me to design my own legendary monster. For those of you who don't know what Baldur's Gate is, the few still out there, it's a video game inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, a role-playing game. In this video game, you can be all sorts of different D&D races, genders, and go through this awesome story. And of course, Romance of Starion, or anyone who catches your eye. But this monster won't just be a one-off design. It's going to be a part of an animation. I came up with this idea in college when I was getting into D&D, and Baldur's Gate is the perfect inspiration for its main villain's design. For anyone who's played the game, they can attest to the different monsters' interesting designs with striking silhouettes and details that hint at the creatures' backstories. And I want to capture some of that magic in my design. And at the end of the video, I have a surprise, so stick around for that. And I'll acknowledge now, yes, I look like a tiefling. No, I don't normally look like this. And later, I'll be releasing a video that goes on how I became a tiefling, so stick around for that too. Alright, let's do this. At least for now, I'm going to keep the story of this animation a secret. So the first thing I did, as always, was look for images on Pinterest. It took me some time to decide what idea I wanted to go for, so at first I was broad. I decided to go for a more humanoid monster design since the more recent monsters I designed were less humanoid. Okay, I'm starting. Oh yes, I remember when I started, I wanted to try to reference some other monsters and designs I liked in Pinterest, and I was struggling a bit to get something interesting. I wasn't fully sure if I wanted to do a humanoid creature yet, and then eventually I decided I want to do a humanoid monster. Okay, yeah, I see here I'm combining, I can't remember what the creature is, but they have like a bug face and kind of a humanoid body. And now I'm adding this wig, and I'm playing with the side, and now I'm adding this wig and I'm playing with how it looks. I remember I saw a photo with a woman with locks, and I really liked the silhouette of it, and I thought it might be fun. I'm playing around with what kind of body and legs I want for the I guess the butt, like the lower torso. That's what I want to say. I remember also when I started, I initially didn't want it to be so detailed, so I was keeping the bottom of the dress pretty simple. And now I'm doing the line art for it. Oh, sorry again. There's like some flickering because as I go, I accidentally filled in the color. Oh yeah, I was also struggling with the breast. My friend actually, Izzy, thank you. She helped me get the breast looking correctly. I was trying to get that, I can't remember what era it's from, but there's this era where it was more normal for women to show more of their chests, and I liked the, what's it called? This area, the collar of the dress, and I wanted to do a similar style. There was a show that did this. I'll put the image here. I can't remember the name of it, but I watched it and I really liked it. So yeah, that's what I was thinking of there. Now, yeah, I end up making the oh, I guess I don't do it yet. Oh no, I already did it. I made the neck a little longer because it felt weird. Yep, now I'm doing the silhouette. Oops, yeah, there's going to be some flickering here. Sorry, guys. Then I decided to paint in the legs even though it's incredibly annoying. Okay, now I'm basing the colors off of, I don't know if this is just any Mind Flayer or if it's the Emperor. I can't see the text right now. And I'm just looking at all the different guys I like and seeing what colors I want to go for. I think I remember settling on some pastel color, yeah, for the dress. And then I started adding the shadows in. Originally I wasn't gonna add shadows because I didn't want this. Originally I wasn't gonna add shadows because I already made the character so detailed, but it just felt like it was missing and it needed shadows. So I did. And now I started working on the minion. My friend suggested, a couple of my friends actually suggested that I make the minion like a baby, like a creepy baby with a spider butt. So that's what I'm doing. I'm sketching her out with a bonnet, and I end up giving her a little dress too. thought about going shirtless, but I really wanted a cute little baby dress. I do struggle with how the dress will fall over her lower torso. Lower torso? Her legs and her butt basically. And then I did the line art. Oh yeah, and then I start working with colors. At first I have a more vibrant pink, which I really liked, but it felt not correct next to my other monster. I also felt like maybe I would go for more, slightly more muted colors. Um, yeah, I just felt like that might be right. And then I go back to my monster design because I'm not very happy with it. I decide, let me try pushing the silhouette. Let me try changing the hair. I looked back at my references to see what I had, and I started building up a new look. One thing I didn't like about the previous silhouette is the hair loopies that went down. They were going to be blocked by the shoulders and other things. So if it was a clear shot where they weren't going to be blocked by the hands, which were up like pincers. Pincers? Is that right? Whatever. They were up like bug arms, kind of praying mantises. Then I'd be fine with it. Oh, my camera died. Let me fix that right now. Oh, it's Ghost Ship from the future. My mic decided to die, so you can enjoy my cosplay as I fill you in on what I did next. So I decided to make the dress a lot more complicated and frilly because it just felt boring. I kept looking at it and thinking, this doesn't get the vibe I want across. I really was hesitant to add this much detail because I know it's going to be a pain when I go to animate this and when I make the turnaround, but I wasn't happy with it. And I decided maybe we'll add wings because even though I've got spider motifs in this, as I mentioned before, I don't have, oh, actually, no, I didn't. This was in my recording. I don't have 8 legs. So I thought, why not go in with some wings and kind of give a different bug vibe. I also, I added the feather because a lot of I don't know what error I was basing these dresses off of, but there was a lot of different art things I saw where people were using feathers in their hair as well, like big feathers. And then I'm going in with the legs. I decide I actually do like the silhouette of my old leg a lot, but I felt like I wanted the legs to jut out more from the wings so it was a clearer silhouette. So, it didn't get all blended in. So yeah, I work on that, making the legs bigger. And then I also add some more details to it that I think are nice. Oh, and I add this cute little spider gem creature. Spider gem creature. The spider, yeah, that thing that's showing up right there. I add this little spider gem that I saw in Pinterest, and I really liked it. You probably won't really see the detail in the animation, unless there's like a close-up shot for some reason. Probably won't happen. Who knows? Maybe, but probably not. And now I'm doing the line art. Oh, sorry for a little bit of blinking there. And then, yeah, I simplify the lines in the wings, which I think was a good idea. And then for painting, I'm going for a more fleshy toned colors, I guess. I don't remember what inspired it, but I decided to keep, oh yes, flash warning. I decided to keep the kind of light pastel dress that felt right for this. And then I add shading again. Oh yes, originally I wasn't gonna add shading because this character is so detailed. So I was like, if I add shading, I'm gonna make it take so long to finish this. But it didn't feel right. So I'm adding shading. And then I go in to the spider minion baby, and I decide to make it more fetus-like. I look up pictures. I elongate the head a bit. and I add an umbilical cord, and I add some like some like I make it like it's a little moist, like it was just birthed or something. I don't know. So I have it have some like little water droplets on its skin. And then I also mute the colors a lot because the original color was way too saturated, especially compared to the to my legendary monster. And then it's turnaround time. I don't know if I mentioned this already. Forgive me if I did, but I found when I'm doing turnarounds, it's a lot easier for me to go from 3/4 view to front view. I don't know why that is. Front view is, it's wider than 3/4 view. It's your widest pose. Everything's the farthest apart, and 3/4 is more narrow. So I'm guessing maybe it's harder for me to go from that wide to narrow. Don't know why, but in the future I need to keep that in mind. Start with the 3/4 pose, especially if I'm making an animation, and when I draw a character I like, I'm gonna want to animate it. I'm probably gonna want to animate it. So might as well make it easier. And then it's always good to go from front view to back view, because it's a lot easier. And this guy also wasn't that bad compared to the what's it called? Compared to my legendary monster, whose name is Yakash, by the way, just so you know. It wasn't as bad as Yakash because they didn't have all those pinchers on their face. It's just basically a human, except for the legs and the butt and the arms. It wasn't too bad. The 3/4 back view, though, that was a bit of a struggle. That one's always hard for me. I don't know. I I like the way it turned out in the end, but yeah, it was a struggle at first. Oh yeah, and then I'm doing some sketches here on ideas of things that could be in the environment. Like they got a little, maybe a fetus baby close-up shot, maybe some spider egg sacs will be hanging around. And then it's time to do the turnaround for Yakash. And unfortunately, I'm starting with the front view instead of the 3/4 view, which will make things harder. Yeah, I'll go for the 3/4 view. Eventually I figure it out. It's a little bit of a struggle though, especially all those freaking ruffles. Oh my god, just looking at them I'm like, ugh, how do you tackle that? Oh, and then for the spider butt, that's something I struggled with a bit, because I started with the 3/4 view for the spider minion. I was able to kind of define that, I don't know, it's abdomen? Is that the right word? I think it is. To define that spider abdomen, if I'm wrong, spider butt. In, that spider butt shape, it's kind of like a teardrop, actually. Kind of like a sideways teardrop. But because I was starting with the front view, I didn't see that, and it kind of threw me off. But then I had to think, oh, you'll see that 3/4 view, side view, you will not see that front view. So yeah, and now here I'm doing the back view. The ruffles for that one, actually I had some trouble with that. I wasn't sure how it would go. I don't know if this is actually accurate, but yeah, I'm talking about it there. Because the ruffles are like pulled up, I wasn't sure how it would go. Again, I probably should have looked for some reference to see if, like, specifically reference for that, if there was any dresses where the ruffles were, pulled up, they'd have like a cover in front of it, but like something I could use. But I think it turned out pretty well. Before the reveal, I want to quickly say I hope you guys liked watching my design process. If you did, please consider dropping a like and subscribe so we can learn more about art together in a fun, nerdy environment. I also want to remind you guys to stick around for my surprise at the end. Now let's look at the final reveal. I'm really happy with how my legendary monster and spider minion designs turned out. I'm very impressed with my turnarounds. I struggled with those a lot, but I think they're really good and consistent. I like how the colors worked out. I don't think they feel cohesive together. And I'm really glad that I went back over the silhouette for the legendary monster again and the spider minion and emphasized some things. The legs really jut out in a way that makes the silhouette really clear. I like the wings, the longer, more deadly looking pincers. Again, I really hope you like this video, and if you want to learn more about how I design monsters, check out Exploring the Art of Monster Designs, Learning from Rodrigo Sousa. And if you want to show some extra support, consider joining my Patreon. You'll get access to high-resolution PNGs of behind-the-scene art, time-lapses of said art, your name at the end of the video, and more. Speaking of, it's time to thank my spooky salty patron. You help keep my haunting vending machine stocked with savory salty snacks, and now it's time for me to tell you my surprise that I thought would make this D&D Baldur's Gate video even better. I made custom character sheets based off my designs so that if anyone wants to take any of my characters into their campaign, they can. Sign up to my Patreon and you'll get access to the custom character sheets I created for my legendary monster and spider minion, as well as the future ones I create for the Misfit crew and the rivals. And with that, I retire to my corpse-like slumber. Till next time, bye.